channel, changing lives.
And I welcome you to the studios of Hope TV Ghana for your favorite show, Real Talk. I always tell you guys that Real Talk is a conversation for real people by real people like you and myself here. Again, I would like to remind you that you can also send us your story through our WhatsApp number, our email address, even on Facebook Messenger. You can DM us on Instagram. If you do not have the story written, that is not a problem at all. Just tell us the topic, tell us what exactly it is you're going through, and we will be able to put together a story that will capture everything that is going on in your life. We will find you amazing panelists to have a very comprehensive conversation, a conversation that hopefully after we will be able to help you with some solutions and tips to make your life better. After all, this is why we are here, to provide some sort of comfort, some sort of a community for you to feel belonged. I'd like to apologize for the delay in today's start. We were facing some technical challenges, and I am glad to let you know that we have been able to solve it, and we are coming your way with Real Talk. You know, they always say that parents are very, very valuable in the lives of kids, and I am one that I'm not going to disagree with this statement. I think it is a very true statement. Having a parent in your life is a blessing. But sometimes parents can also make us go through some sort of stress. They can come up with some sort of reasons or excuses, or someone will say problems that will give us issues in our lives. Today's story is, I think it's around that issue where a parent or parents are trying to make their daughter's life miserable. Somebody will say that, do you think, or I have a question to ask basically, do you think that a parent should choose who their child should marry? Can they choose their tribe? Can they suggest the profession? Because I've heard some families saying that if the person is not a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, they cannot come to our house. So some parents can be very, very specific as to the kind of spouse that they want. And I just want to let you know that this girl is going through it. And I'll share the story with you. Today I'm going to read the story because I do not want to mix any words. I just want to read it verbatim so that everything she listed in her letter is captured. You guys will have a full understanding so that we can all have a great conversation. So today's story was brought to us by a young lady, and she says, "Dear Real Talk, after school my dad decided I should come to the UK and further my education. So I left Ghana to the UK. On my first day at school I met Adam, a Ghanaian who has lived in the UK for almost 15 years of his life. We became friends fast and I took him home. My dad, upon seeing him, was annoyed and later told me I better not be planning on marrying him. I was shocked and asked why, and he said he wants an Obroni son-in-law. Obroni here is a white man, basically, an Obroni son-in-law. How can I come to the UK and date a fellow black man? I thought it was a joke until I told him Adam has proposed marriage, and he blatantly said no over his dead body. Adam finally left because he could not continue wasting his time. The next guy I met is a Nigerian, Chike. What was it? Chike. Chike is a Nigerian-born British. So he has nothing about him that says he's Nigerian apart from his skin color. He has a British accent. He has a British mannerisms. When he proposed to me, I wanted to say yes, but my father's voice kept echoing in my head. Instead of saying yes, I told him, give me some time to think about it. I told my dad, there's a new guy. He asked Obroni. I said half caste. In fact, he's more white than black. He said, so far as he isn't fully white, then I should forget about it. At this point, I involved my mom, but she only made things worse. All she cared about was having mixed grandchildren. Honestly, I have thought about things critically in the past few days. I am thinking I should go. Okay, so it's been 3 months. It's been 3 months since Chike proposed. I finally told him about the issue with my dad. He suggested we go ahead and get married without him or his consent, since that is allowed in the UK. Honestly, I have thought about things critically in the past few days. I am thinking I should go with what he said, but my only fear is the future implications of this decision. My father might wash his hands off me. This is a strange land. It is not my home. Things can go wrong. And when things go wrong, I will need the support of someone like my father. What do I do? Should I go ahead with my plan or listen to my father? I need to decide before I lose another good man. Please advise. This is a very, very complicated story, because on one side, you are asked to obey your parents. On another side, parents are asked not to provoke their children. And so from both angles, you have to be cautious, and then you have to just be careful in how you handle the situation, so not to have some bad bridges between very close family members, such as a father or a parent and their child. So today's story, I told you, is an interesting one. I would like us to start discussing, but I want us to go for a very quick break. When we come back, I will introduce my panelists to you, and we will go straight into the discussion. Do not forget, we are also live on Facebook and YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. You can stream live, join the conversation, leave your comments under the comment sections. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know whatever is going through your mind, and let us have a great show. Do not go anywhere. My name is Evie. We will be right back after this break.
Oh yeah! United Service to Africa, Anakant Community Center, and the Ghana Adventist Health Service, Akabom, the medical mission at Tosumiansa, Ebra Ghana for every 20th to 25th September 2021. Next year, Wabaya Surgicals BTC, hernia, hemorrhoids, and cataracts. Afe Wabaya General Medical Care, dental care, eye care, and laparoscopic surgical training. Jumedia Wayna Babaso Miamia BTC, Valley View University SDA Hospital, Techiman, Asaman SDA Hospital, Namon SDA Hospital, Ashanti Region, Watbog Eye Services, Kaswa Central Region, Kwadasu SDA Hospital, Ashanti Region, Sunyani SDA Hospital, Blue Region. Order for to Americana could be a money a band, one could register tour, Nadanu Druha, one more sano. Afe will be away.
Anesthesiologist, general surgeon, internist, family medicine physician, dentist, ophthalmologist, optometrist, a nurse or a pharmacist.
Where ya Quenya Cassiama was a won't be to me too, where see what Amasa Jumedia Cassia. So Pesa Waya was Sika Femuswa, Fre.
Zelle account at treasurer@unsta.org or call us on 951-640-9517 and 024-44-64692. For more information, you can also visit our website at www.unitedservicetoafrica.org. United Service to Africa, Anakant Community Center, Loma Linda University Health, Catering Health Network, Ghana Adventist Health Service, Diwali Trust, and Tasadia Foundation.
Your media partners,
Hope TV Ghana and Hope Channel Ghana.
Oh, kick on way. United Service to Africa with Christ to restore hope.
Be there.
Yamamu Akwaba Kokra. Inspiration behind the hymns. Makwa Jojo na mewahi.
The main objectives are two main objectives for this beautiful program. We sing a lot of hymns for different worship services, including Sabbaths, as Seventh-day Adventists. We want to find out who are the people who wrote these hymns, who are the composers that they worked with, what was the inspiration, the motivation, the power that enabled them to pen these beautiful hymns down for our benefit. That is number one. And then number two is to encourage congregational singing. It appears as Seventh-day Adventists, we have to improve our congregational singing. Join us on the program Inspiration Behind the Hymns.
Every Friday, 8 to 9 p.m. on Hope Channel.
Still in the studios of Hope TV Ghana, coming your way with Real Talk. I just read the story to you. Just a quick one. Girl living outside with her father in the UK. She finds a man who is Ghanaian. Father says, no, I want you to marry a white man. She finds another one who is Nigerian, British, who is more British than African or Nigerian. Father says, so far as he is black or he has a black skin, no, I want a white man. And because of that, I'm not going to accept anybody that comes your way because of their color. So this girl is frustrated. Now her current boyfriend, who is Chike, is saying that we can go ahead and get married. It's the UK. We don't need a parent's blessings or support. But she's wondering if she should go ahead with that because she's in a foreign land. Her father is the only one she has. Anything can happen. If Chike turns on her, what does she do? And so she's very frustrated. But she doesn't get why her father, who is a black man, wants her to marry a white man. That's quite strange. Usually the fathers are the ones telling us to bring people that are Ghanaian or are of the same kind to the house. But this request is quite strange. Her mother is not of help. She wants half-caste babies. That's just her priority. So the parents seem quite strange, in my opinion, as to their request of their children or their child. And so the girl wants some help as to how to go about this problem. So before we went, I told you that I'll introduce you to my guest. I have in the studio with me Josephine. Josephine is a popular face now. She's a household name. So she doesn't even need like any giddy introduction. You people know Josephine. Josephine.
Yeah, Evie.
Good evening. Good evening. So good to have you on set today.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm very. How's school though, the kids and everything?
Oh yeah, everything is okay. I'm on vacation. I'll be resuming soon.
Oh,
yes.
Small vacation.
Oh, it wasn't really small.
Hey, you've been enjoying
yes, it was a long vacation.
Hey, oh, okay. Then you've been relaxing.
Yes, so on Monday, God willing, I'll be going home.
Oh, so soon. But I'm sure you've missed the kids.
Oh, not really.
Josephine, thank you so much for making time for coming. Okay, joining me virtually, I have Christina Boahin. Christina, can you hear me?
Yes, Evie, I can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening. I've been meaning to ask you, is your name Christina or Christiana?
I'm Christiana, but I prefer to be called Kristen.
Oh, Kristen, okay. Because I know lots of people mix that. My mom is Christine and everybody keeps calling her Christina, so I know it can be a bit of a mix-up. But how are you? How is work? How is the family?
Interesting. Day by day, it gets better. What about you?
I'm good, and I know congratulations are in order, even though I'm not going to say what, but congratulations anyway.
Okay, I appreciate your discretion.
This is coded. It's between the two of us.
Yes, very important.
Thank you so much for joining the show. The next person is Ivan Kofi. Ivan, can you hear me? Good evening.
Yes, I can. Good evening.
Yes, finally, I can hear you guys loud and clear. You guys can hear me as well. We thank God for His mercies. How have you been?
God has been merciful to me and my family and everyone. How about you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm sure everybody in the family is well. The week has been good so far. We thank God. So joining me is also Nadlin Enchi. Nadlin, hi, can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi. It's so unfortunate that we couldn't make it last week, but we are just happy to be here today and to finish this conversation. How are you doing?
Absolutely. I'm good. How about you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for asking. So coming back into the studio, Josephine, what is your general take on this story? What do you think is going on here?
Okay, when I read the story, a lot of things came into mind, as usual. A dad who wants to manipulate the daughter. That is how I see it.
Right.
Yes. As to whom to marry, deciding for the daughter. That is one-sided. And the mommy is also supporting the husband. So leaving the daughter alone.
Right.
Yes. And the second one is that we don't know as to the reasons why the daddy is placing much emphasis on as to how the choice of race that the daughter is supposed to marry. That is the second point. And the third point is that the lady doesn't know the choice of man. She herself, she's not decisive. Let me put it in that sense, because she herself doesn't know whom to marry. As to when she met Adam, she said she's okay with Adam.
Yeah.
And then later the daddy said no.
Right.
She met Chiki. He said she's interested in Chiki. So she herself, she doesn't know what to do. So these are the things that came into mind as to the general view of the story.
Okay, now Josephine, it's funny you should say we don't know why this man is doing that, because it's a strange request to say that he has to be a white man. But what do you think in your, like when you think in your mind, what can you come up with to be the possible reasons why this man is saying, if it's not a white man, over my dead body?
I think probably, he would like the daughter to marry a white person in order to gain citizenship opportunities in the state. Yes, it might be one of the reasons. And secondly, maybe he had gotten a bad past experiences with marrying blacks. So he doesn't want the daughter to go through same. Yes, that might be another reason
why a father can.
But I think he has his personal reasons as to why he's saying that. Yes. So I think at the end of the story, you'll be able to get to know the personal reasons from the dad. Because there should be a rapport, a form of communication from the dad to the daughter, so that the dad will be able to explain the reasons why he's saying that. Yes, and the daughter is supposed to also explain as to why she would like to marry a black. So that at the end there will be a compromise. Right.
A compromise is what we can ask for. Nadlin, coming to you, you are not in Ghana, you are abroad. General take on the story first of all, and have you ever come across such a request from black parents asking their wards or their children to marry white men or white women at all costs?
I have personally never come across anything like that. Especially now with the Black Lives Movement and everybody encouraging everyone to really focus on their own culture, their own people. So I've never heard that. But once again, that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. My general take on the story is it's a little strange to actually have a request like that, unless you are looking for papers. I mean, that's the only thing that, or looking for some opportunities that dad feels like she can get by being a lighter skinned version, because there is colorists that exist abroad, everywhere, UK, United States, all of it. So I think that there may be some comfort in knowing that they won't be as discriminated against as if they were that a little lighter and a little light skinned. So maybe that's all part of it. My general take on the story is I think there needs to be lots of conversations because marriage is huge. And I always say it, no matter what it is, you don't want to be married to somebody that you don't care about. And so there are already problems when you marry your own Black person, your own Ghanaian sitting next to you, cry, no, there's problems. More or less to go add additional problems on top of it. You want to be careful before you go into that. Being born and raised here, there was a time in my life where I used to think I could never marry a Ghanaian. Well, now, henceforth, I think I lied because I can't see myself with anybody that's not Ghanaian because there's so many other issues. I mean, just the language barrier alone is a problem. Right. So I think there needs to be so much conversations there to really understand, like my sister said in the studio with you, why are you getting married? And are you sure yourself of why you want to marry these people? Whether it was the Edom, it was the cheat, you know what I mean? Like if you're sure and you are doing it for the right reasons, there should be no compromise.
Right. If you're sure, there should be no compromise. But speaking from personal experience, what would you say are some of the benefits that a Black person would enjoy when they say marry a white man, if that is the direction her father is coming from? What could be some of these benefits that Blacks could get from marrying a white man?
So I don't know about the UK. I can only tell you about the United States. So even if you marry a white man and the child is mixed, they're still considered Black. So when you fill a job application, when you do whatever it is you're doing, you're still considered Black. That doesn't go away. So they don't have a box that says half Black, half white. Right. There's no such box. And so you're still considered Black, and you're to identify yourself as Black or African American. The other benefits I can see is that because there's still so much discrimination against color, the color of your skin, the lighter you are, sometimes in certain instances, the better you are treated. You're able to get better positions in different places. You're able to, do different things. So there's so much more that you can gain by being a lighter skinned African American person. Your hair is silkier, your hair is smoother. You tend to fit in with the norm a little bit, right? So you fit in with the norm that other people are looking for. So I think it's important to identify all of those things before you jump ahead and do something completely different. So there's a few benefits, but for the most part, you're still Black. Everywhere you will be Black.
I know. And funny how genes work. You will be surprised that you have the kids and they'll take more of her side than the white man's side. And that will not help it. Thank you so much, Nadeline. Coming to you, Christina, I just want to take your general take on the story. And for you in particular, I would ask, but the mom is obviously of no help. What do you think is going through these parents' mind? And now since her mother is not helping her in any way, how can she even go about starting this conversation of trying to get her father to understand that she doesn't want to marry a white man?
Okay, I'm not sure you're really clear whether she doesn't want to marry a white man because
she's just
she keeps
Black men
hopping around. Okay, for now she's not dating a white, so probably maybe her next encounter she might find someone who is white and be like, oh, I think I like a white man. But then until then we can just assume. Right. I'm looking at this whole scenario and I'm asking myself, who is playing what role and why are they playing that role? You can clearly see that now parents are supposed to be authoritative when we are kids and authoritarian when we are grown up. As in, when we are kids, you tell us what to do because we are not smart enough to know right from wrong. But then when we are grown, you need to take our views into consideration. And that is what the parents are missing at this point in time. So I'm asking myself, can this girl actually have a genuine conversation with them to ask them that, what are you actually looking for and why are you looking for it? Because until we determine that, we are going nowhere. And these parents are damn serious about this color issue. It means so much to them, and I feel like they should have a very honest conversation. But with the guy, I think this guy does not know what he's talking about. So you see right now, the girl miss the blessings of the family, and the guy sees no need of it.
Right.
Have you seen the bone of contention right now?
Yeah, and the
because
cultural
it looks like their backgrounds are dictating how they should take this marriage.
Exactly.
And if they go ahead, it's going to be an issue, because if I think I need my parents to bless it and you think I don't need it, then if I succumb to your point of view, one day I'm going to feel sorry for myself.
Yeah.
When there's a problem in the marriage, and it might actually cause
some issues. Christina, are you still there? Oh, I can't hear Christine now. Evan.
Yeah.
Okay. Before Christina was cut, she was cut off. She was telling us her perspective, but I'll try and check in with her again. But with you, what's your general take on the story? What do you think is making this father behave in this way? The mother is of no help. How can this girl even go about talking to her father to understand? Can you share your view with us on these?
Okay. Actually, first of all, I would like to encourage our dear sister not to lose hope and not to rush into things, but take it cool, because this is not the first time such a thing is coming up with a choice for a spouse. I would like to say that fathers play vital role in the selection of a spouse for their children. And the Bible even gives accounts of people or godly men who specifically wanted a type of woman for their children.
Right.
A typical example is Abraham, when he wanted, a good wife for the son. And all those scripture describes the marriage between Christ and the church in terms of that sounds like an arranged marriage. But scripture does not explicitly describe that type of arranged marriage as the one method for finding a spouse. In other words, the Trinitarian example of God the Father and choosing a bride for Christ the Son is not a spouse finding method that we specifically are told to emulate. But parents have been designed and ordained by God, to have a natural and comprehensive authoritative influence in their children's life. But to the extent of dictating who specifically to marry, to deny this chance for their daughter to make a choice is way beyond expectation. But after reading the story, I could deduce that the father had done some.
Oh, Evan is paused or muted. That's quite unfortunate. Christine, are you there?
Hi, I'm here, Evie.
Yes,
I'm back.
Please finish with your submission.
Yes, so I was saying that
go ahead, I can hear you. Hello? Okay, yes.
Yes, so it looks quite obvious that they both have background differences that actually matter. And if they do not pay attention, one is saying that it doesn't matter if you get the blessings.
Yes.
And the other saying that it matters to me because I'm coming from that African background. And let's not forget, whether or not you believe in the fact that blessings of the family matters or not, it has been established that family support, the support of family and friends is vital in every marriage.
Yeah.
And so if this guy is going to ignore this fact, they should know that it will have consequences on their marriage later for some years to come, and also on their children. How are the children going to respond to their grandparents, and how would the relationship be like? This is also very important.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Evan, if you can hear me, please finish your submission so I can talk to Josephine some more. Hello, Evan, are you there? Okay, I can't hear from Evan, so I will come to Josephine. But Josephine, it's very interesting. You think that mothers are the ones that will listen to the child and then do some sort of, in the add-on or things they'll call. First of all, it doesn't look like the parents live together because of the way she said she had to call her mother for her to come in. So So why do you think the mother is just interested in having mixed babies? What is going on here?
Since we don't have the full story, there are things that you assume or you might predict. From the story, I think the mommy and the daddy, they don't stay together.
Yeah.
Yes. So it might be they already have their own issues, which we don't know.
Right.
Yes. And the daughter said she has to call the mommy before the mommy comes to speak to the daddy.
Yeah.
And then later she said that the mommy is also supporting the dad. Yes. So I think the woman has her own issues. Yes. And it's not every mother who supports the daughter whenever there are issues.
Right.
Yes. So it's not surprising that the woman is supporting the husband in this context. But the lady has to pray. If she is a Christian, she has to pray.
Before we get to what she has to do, I wanted to also ask you, what is your take on fathers or parents choosing or being very persistent on the spouse their children have? You have to marry from this specific tribe. You have to marry someone who does this for a living. You have to marry from this family. You have to marry from this church. Like, it can go on and on and on. And now the very big issue of you have to marry from this specific race. So what do you think, in your opinion, are some of the reasons why parents can be very, very persistent on the spouse you choose, their race, their job, their church, the family, etc.?
Okay, I think the daddy might have bad experiences with marrying blacks. Yes, which we might not know. He has his own personal reasons. That is why he's saying that to the daughter. And another one is, I think maybe documentation process sake. Maybe when she gets married to a white, she'll be able to get her documentation freely. That might be a reason. But mostly fathers are strict on the kind of spouses their daughters.
Why is that on the general? Even aside this story, why do you think, you work with kids, you've seen a lot of parents, you interact with them. What do you think, in your opinion, are some of the reasons why, in general, parents can be very demanding of such requests on their children?
I think that they want the best for their kids. Okay, that is one. Most parents wouldn't like their kids to go through the pains they've gone through. So they would like to direct their kids or guide their kids as to the good spouses they are supposed to marry.
In their opinion.
In their opinion.
Okay.
Yes, or their perspective.
Yeah.
So that their kids will not be able to go astray. Yes, that is one. But it's not always that their choices might be good for their kids.
Right.
Yes. So they might direct us or guide us as to whom to marry. Yes, but the first thing is to pray to God for directive, because it's not always that parents' choices are the best.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So I think in conclusion, they do that because they want the best for their kids in their perspective.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not always the case, because the best option is from God, because parents are also humans as their kids.
Yeah, exactly. That's very true. Evan, if you're back, please finish with your submission.
Rounding up my submission by saying that, the father may have experienced some certain things when he moved to the UK. And because he doesn't want the child to go through certain things, he wants the child to marry someone specific person. But Bible says in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 4, that fathers, do not exasperate your children, so they will not lose heart. Can you imagine that? So when the father is trying to make the daughter choose a particular person, he's trying to provoke the child to do something that herself wouldn't want to do. So the father may have had hard time, like my colleague said, getting a green card or having something he wants for himself. But as at now, he should allow the child to bring in someone she truly loves. But in all this, one thing the father should look for any husband material is someone who fears the Lord, who is a Christian, who is godly. So if the daughter brings in someone who is a Christian, who fears the Lord, then I think we can start working from there. And then for the mother to not be engaged so much, sometimes it's likely the father has a very strong influence over the wife that the daughter cannot, help by just being quiet, whilst the mother can't do anything. So that's what I would like to say for now, but I'm sure that there is hope. So
okay, but before I leave you, you are a man, you have a family, you obviously have kids of your own. I'm just asking, in general, what do you think would make a father or parents in general say that, hey, Akosua, I want you to marry a doctor, I want you to marry from this tribe, in Ghana here from this tribe, I want you to marry from this family, I want you to marry from this church and no other church, and like in general, like people face these things where they take men home or they take women home, and the parents are very adamant as to, no, we are not going to accept this because he or she is from here, he or she doesn't have this job, he or she attends this church. As a man and as one with kids, what do you think could be the reasons why maybe one day, first of all, do you think one day you can have such requests for your kids, or what do you think could be the reasons why parents would hold that?
Simply put, Evie, the man wants the best for the child. Simply put, best for the child. But the best that you are looking for your child might not be best for her. Though it may be best for me, but will not be best for my girl or my daughter. So he wants the best, but that perspective that he wants it to be a particular race, a particular type, that's where he gets it all wrong.
That's where he gets it all wrong. That's true. Nadlin, coming to you again. When I read the story, first of all, I thought the man's request was quite extreme. But what shocked me was the mother saying that, oh, we cry, I want half-caste baby. So I suppose what your father is saying. The two parents is just the most strange relationship or requests that they are asking of, in this case, their daughter. What, in your opinion, could make parents get up and decide that, first of all, I want a white man. First of all, me, all I care about are white babies. Somebody will say, what about the child's happiness? What about the trauma this child is going through? You keep rejecting the men she keeps bringing. And also, again, as I asked, what would make parents go to this extreme to get their child to marry a white man? And even in our setting, I'm sure you've heard parents asking children to marry from some tribe, some profession, whatever. What is the thought process? Even as saying, I want the best for my child, Josephine has concurred and said, yes, I want the best for my child, in my opinion. Do you also agree with their thoughts, or you think there are other reasons why parents, someone will say, might make such unreasonable requests of their child?
I mean, I agree. I think that every parent wants the best for their children. Being a parent myself, I can understand that and know that, of course, I think we all want the best for our kids. And, you know, the very awkward thing that I'm going to say right now is parents know some of these things. They know, they feel it, and some of it they really understand. So I think they try to help to guide their children, and sometimes that guidance tend to be a little authoritarian because they can sort of foresee what's going to happen ahead of time. That is why the story is weird to me, because if that is the case, once again, I don't know why they're insisting on wanting their child to marry a white person, aside from the fact that they think things will be easier for them, as far as just, you know, living abroad and, you know, having some of the very few benefits I listed here. I can't think of any other reason. And like I said, maybe they do not want them to go through some of the struggles that they've seen, or, you know, the struggles that's happened in as far as being married to somebody that's not of your race or your culture or whatever that reason may be. They're trying to help them avoid that. But one of the things about parenting, because I'm a parent myself, is that sometimes you have to allow your children to make mistakes. And you have to allow your children to lead their own life so they can determine what works for them and what doesn't.
Yeah, that's true. But speaking of, let's come to Chike. Chike is saying that, let's go ahead. In the UK, we don't really need your father to do anything. You know, in Ghana here that you have to do the traditional marriage where the father will accept drinks before you can go on, and when you're even going to sign, they'll ask, have you finished with the traditional part of whatever, and you have to meet some requirements. But I'm sure in the States and in the UK, that is not really necessary. But Chike is saying, you know, it's not necessary. You want to marry me, I want to marry you. Let's go ahead and do this. But the girl is obviously not comfortable with the idea of going ahead without her father or her mother's blessings. Do you think she should go ahead and marry Chike against her father's will? Or you think she should let Chike also go and wait till, I don't know when, maybe she won't find any white man, but wait till when? What do you think she should do?
You know, like, I would never advise anybody to go against the wishes of their parents, anybody, with any situation. And no matter what, being American, being born here, being raised here, it doesn't matter. I'm never going to say that it's okay to go against your parents' wishes. And I don't think that's what she should do. Not knowing the full background of the full story, I think that she should definitely not go ahead and get married without her parents supporting that. Because marriage, as they say, is a very long journey. And trust me, there will come a time where, you know, and a lot of young girls have made this mistake where they get married and they think, oh yeah, things will get better, things will change. Yeah, things do not get better and people don't change. And so those characteristics that you see, they're going to show up somewhere else, right? And especially without your parents supporting it, it makes it very difficult for you to embark on such a journey and not have family support. I mean, that's the whole purpose of why people get married, to have the two families join together, to have a successful, you know, a blended family almost. So I'm not going to support that. I think that's a little different from my views from the last time, but I do not think that she should do anything without her parents' support.
Yeah. Okay. Natalie says not without your parents' support. Josephine, do you think she should go ahead and marry Chike? Because that is being difficult. Mom is obviously of no help. So what do you think she should do now? Should she go ahead and marry Chike, or she should just keep searching for Obroni?
Okay, from the story, her age wasn't stated.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, so I don't know whether she's aging, that she should opt for whatever that comes in her life.
Okay.
But since we don't know her age, I think she has to wait. Yes. Firstly, she should be decisive herself. What does she want? She should know her specs. Then she should pray and know the right person for herself. And she should communicate to the parents and have a rapport with them and explain to them why maybe she wants a black or she wants a white. And she shouldn't forgo what the parents are saying, as in not minding them and going for the guy. Okay. Because when you go into the marriage, it's a long thing. And when she gets there to and she gets any challenge, you should remember that the guy is from a different culture setting too. So their mindsets are different, their backgrounds are different.
Very true.
Yes. So if she is not aging, she shouldn't rush for anything. She should get patience, try to study the man, try to listen to the parents as well, pray, and she should be decisive and know what she wants for herself, so that she should talk. She will talk for herself, because it seems she doesn't know what she wants. Yes, that is what I see. And another one is that from what she's also saying, the parents are being authoritarian. They want to decide for her.
Yeah.
Yes. So if she knows what she wants, then she'll be able to explain why she wants that, and why she doesn't need what her parents are also saying. Yes. So she shouldn't go by anything. She should pray, know whatever that she wants for herself, so that whatever God chooses for her, if she goes in and there are challenges, she'll be able she'll be able to overcome.
Right.
But if she goes by her own directive and she gets any challenges, it will be very difficult for her to overcome those challenges. So she should know what she wants for herself, and she should communicate with the parents so that she will make the right choice. Right. She shouldn't rush into the marriage, and she shouldn't make any choice anyhow. But she should know the specs, the kind of man she wants, and then she will stand by her choice.
Okay, okay. Christine or Christiana or Christian, what do you think? Do you think she should go ahead and marry Chike against her parents' blessings or requests, or you think she should let Chike go? What's like, how should she go about this thing? Because me, it's very dicey for me. Because at one point, I want to marry this guy. You're saying no. I haven't found any white man yet, and I want to marry Chike, and you're saying I need to find a white man. I feel like there's no solution here. What she should do that she won't upset one. It's either she will upset herself and please her parents, or she'll please her parents, or she would upset her parents and please herself. What should she do? Go ahead with Chike's plan, wait, as Josephine beautifully said. What do you think? Christine's internet has decided. I think there's a bird or an owl sitting on her cable line. That is disturbing her. Ivan, are you back?
Yes, I'm here.
Then that question goes to you as we wait for Christian to log back in.
Actually, our sister should make sure she explores all the various avenues that she can. First of all, she can call on the friends of the father, to talk to the dad. She can also consult some counselors to invite the dad and talk to him about the choice she's making. Then she may also fall on some experienced counselors and maybe experienced couples too, family friends, even most importantly, if they are Christians, which I believe, we should fall on the church, the leaders of the church, the pastor, to speak to the father concerning that choice she's making on her own. But go and marry Chike without the family's support or consent or blessing, it's not a good idea, like Natalie said. It's not a good idea at all. And then also, she should fall on the church. If the father is insistent on the white man or that race, she should fall on the church to give her the type of, the way she should go about taking her final decision on such matters, because putting the family aside, and from the look of things, if the father doesn't support, then the mom is also not going to support. These are the other avenues she can explore in order for her father to understand that he may have certain things or goodies for her daughter, but this is her life, and the choices she is making concerns her future. If it fails, it's her own cup of tea and all that. So marrying without the blessing, it may not be the father. The father may be insistent, but there should be maybe family members and others who will support her in that direction. But the most important thing, two things I would like to say, that first of all, she should pray a lot concerning marriage, because it's an institution that is a blessing and can be a curse at the same time. Then the second one too is she should just make sure she doesn't rush into things. That's what I like to say.
Thank you so much. Christine is back. Can we hear from you?
Hello, Evie.
Yes.
I think my internet is failing me today. So I was thinking about this whole scenario, and I think you guys are being unfair. To the defense of the lady, I think that it's not that she's not sure, but come on, the milk is already spilled. Should she cry over it or what? The people are not willing to wait for her, and I'm sure that once you fall down in life, you have to gather yourself up again, repackage, and then look for who would get the goose again. No, I'm being realistic, but then if we are all to count the people we thought we would get married to and we ended up not getting married to them, realistically, we would know that we are all indecisive at a point in time. But notwithstanding, I side with Mr. Ivan because he says she needs to be sure about her decision. You can't keep on going back and forth and falling in love and out of love. And this whole charade is a lot. But then thinking about it, Chike, I have just one sentence for him. That is, love does not look for its own gain. And so if you truly say you love someone, then you would want the person to have a better relationship with the parents. You would want the person to have that epitome of happiness that you as a person cannot give to the person alone. And we know that we are social human beings and we need the love of family and friends and not just our relevant partners to thrive well in our societies. And so if Chike is claiming the love is real, then it should stand the test of time. You should be willing to fight with me for this love and to show a positive attitude towards our parents' rebellion in order to convince them. There have been situations where people have changed the status quo of certain families and their ideologies just by trying to be a reflection of themselves and letting them see the light other than the darkness. And so if he's in for business, they know that real marriages and real relationships come with big work. And the work is trying your best to show a better foot to the family and reconciling them. And as Elder Ivan said, I think the whole family need therapy. They really need it. Everybody is behaving out of tune. Like, I just don't get it. But then it is a clear reflection of the African childhood and the African family. It's terrible. You know, African parents have this attitude that is like omniscient, like they are the omniscient parent. Sometimes it feels like they know everything, but then they forget that your experiences might differ, your era might differ. Even if two people from two generations make the exact same choices, there's bound to be a different outcome because things have changed. And so you can't keep imposing your bad experiences on other people's life and not giving them that opportunity to flourish. No. It is weird. It's not good. And we all do it and we need to be better. If you want people to learn, you don't scare them out of the situation.
Exactly.
You are the coach. You are not the player. Come on. Get off before them. Let us play the game with your guidance. But okay, that's what I think. And through probably correct counseling, they can know their roles, how they are supposed to help their children, and probably the children, the girl, how to react back to what is happening.
I completely agree. Just in final words.
Okay, my final words are just few. I think she just has to listen to the parents and relax, pray first. Know what she wants, and then she get a rapport with the parents, communicate well with them, and then everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine. Natalie, do you have any final words for this girl and her parents?
Yes. So I guess I'm sorry, it got a little dark in here. It's about to rain. So my last thing, my final thing that I have to offer them is basically, yes, the prayers are all good. All of it is wonderful, but don't be too insistent on jumping away from what the parents have to offer. Yes, they are agreeing with our sister Kristen. They do sometimes overbear, but with all that is going on in the world currently, literally we've been in a pandemic for 2 years. We hear of things kids are doing that are not worthy, and I think that the best thing to do is just to listen to her parents and hope and pray, and something else will come out if it's not meant to be. And like Kristen said, love is supposed to be patient and love is supposed to support, and if Chike is not ready to support you and wait and understand, then he may not be the right one either. So good luck to all of them.
Completely agree. Thank you so much. I can't take comments, but I'll take just one. This is from Seth Owusu-Eje. He says, good evening, Evie and Josephine and all your panelists. It seems there's some dysfunction in the family already. The lady has to make a stance. Is it that she's totally against marrying a white man, or she wants to marry any man, what does she want specifically? She has to take a stance which she can defend. They have to communicate well because the lady's future is involved here. My sister, please pray and listen to God because your father is also human. That is so true. I mean, Kristen said something that I completely agree with. She said, love does not look for its own gain. So I think Chike's willingness to go against your parents is a red flag. As a man who wants to marry you and marry into your family, yes, there are cultural differences, but I think he would want to have a good relationship with his future in-laws. With this stance, it means, aside you not having any relationship with your parents, that's if they are very determined and say, no, we won't allow it, so you can't have any form of relationship with us. Aside you not having that relationship with your parents, Chike will not have any form of relationship with his in-laws, which creates a problem because this then separates you from your very primary support system. When you marry him, he becomes obviously your first go-to person. But aside him, it takes you away from the nuclear family that you were in that supported you, which are your parents. And when you're removed from things like that, you become very vulnerable to any form of action that might be taken against you. We don't know what Chike might end up being, but knock on wood, God forbid, if he becomes abusive, if he treats you anyhow, who do you fall back on? Because the only family you have in the UK right now is your father. And you having issues with him will obviously leave you alone. And he is a citizen, you are not. So there is a lot at stake here for you to just up and leave and say, okay, my father said no, so I'm marrying this man. And also to the father, I think it will be very prudent on your part to give reasons why you are saying this. It's very prevalent in the African homes where parents will just say, do this, you ask why, is it because I said so? When we grow, the because I said so doesn't really help us because we can only act right when we understand where you're coming from. But when you give us, when you dictate, you give us things to do and there are no reasons, you don't sit down with us as human beings that can understand and explain this and this is why I'm asking this of you. It becomes very difficult to just go by what you are saying. You are parents, we love you, we want to respect you, we want to obey you. But sometimes it becomes very difficult to choose between what in our opinion is best for us and what you are thinking is best for us, especially without any reasons. Then it's like, okay, so why am I doing this? Just because my father said so. So please, I think we need to be having communication with our kids. Sit down, have communication like they are adults now. And I also believe that you trust that you've raised your kids well enough with good values that they'll be able to be on their own when you're not there. Because if everything should go as planned by God, you go before your kids and you should have some sort of confidence that when you go, they'll be able to live as responsible adults in the society with everybody else. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's always a great feeling when you allow us to come your home and bring you your show, Real Talk. We are very grateful and we say God richly bless you. Thank you to my amazing panelists, Josephine, Nadlin, Christine, Evan. Thank you so much. The internet was trying to mess technical things up today, but God said no. Mercy said no, and so we're able to bring your way or come your way with this show. Thank you guys so much for your dedication and commitment whenever you're called to be on the show. We are grateful. We say God richly bless you. We really appreciate your efforts, and God bless you so much for the time you take out of your busy schedules to be with us. I know some of you are coming back from work. I know Josephine's holidays are over, and this week she should be sleeping. And I've called her that she should come to the studio, and she's here. I am very grateful for it. As for Christine, I know she's busy, but she still found time and she came. Evan has left the family for an hour. I'm sure the kids are trying to get his attention, but he's going to lock himself somewhere just so he can have some time with us. And we are grateful for it. Nadlin as well. Thank you. Even in the rain, I see her network is gone, but she made time to join us. So thank you so much. And we will come your way same time next week. I'm not going to forget my crew. Today was a hassle, but you guys pulled through. Thank you so much for your work. Thank you for your dedication. I appreciate it so much. So we will come your way same time next week with yet another exciting story. But do not tune off or do not turn off your TVs, because there are still amazing content on Hope TV. So watch all the other contents that we bring you, and I'm sure you guys will have a lovely evening and you will be fulfilled. Thank you so much. My name is Evie, and I'll come your way same time next week with yet another exciting episode of Real Talk.